Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and share something with you all. I actually was wanting to share it like whenever I went to Gatlinburg the other day, but I didn't get to it. But anyway, so just got back from singing at a nursing home here in my town, not the one that I work at, but another one. And me and Myra went there, and it was a really good time. We had a really good time. And then to see the elderly people like clap their hands and get all excited, it was way worth it. And we done some hymnal songs and a couple on the soundtrack, so loved every bit of it. But anyways, I figured I'd come on here while I was thinking about it, because you know, time kind of gets in the way sometimes through work and everyday life. But anyways, I wanted to share this with you guys. This was on my heart. So while driving to Gatlinburg the other day, I can't remember when it was, but it was like the other day. I think it was Friday. Anyways, I had put it in the GPS, and y'all know sometimes the GPS don't take you the way that you're supposed to be going, you know. So anyways, I had it in, everything was set. The destination time was around 6 something another. I think it was 6:30. I don't know. But anyways, so I had it in there. We was going through Knoxville, and all of a sudden there's a car wreck up the way. So sirens go by, the road, the traffic really slows down, and I'm like, great. So we were like maybe 5 minutes, well, maybe 3 minutes from the exit that we were about to get off of. And I took that exit because if I was to wait, it'd have been forever, because the wreck was, I guess, pretty bad. I mean, it was loaded back, and they had fire trucks, they had the ambulance, they had policemen. So I'm like, you know, we're going to take off this exit here, which will take us the same direction. So we did that, and so going in that direction up that way that I knew of going, like there was a road detour or something, and so part of the road was shut down on the way that I needed to go. So the GPS took us a different direction. I'm like, okay, maybe I know where this is going to lead us to. So we get to driving, and I'm like driving, and I'm not saying nothing. And Caitlin looks at me, she says, man, none of this looks familiar. I said, no, it don't, does it? Like, nothing looked familiar. And then I noticed the little sapphire big silver ball thing that's in Knoxville. I don't even know the name of it, but it's a huge big old round ball top deal. And I said, well, this looks familiar, and I think we're downtown Knoxville. And I'm like, I mean, we were literally downtown Knoxville. I wasn't on the interstate no more. I was going through downtown Knoxville. And which it, you know, it took us out of the interstate back way to get to where we were going. So I kept on driving, and I'm like, none of this looks familiar. We were going through, I'm wanting to say Seymour. I mean, it was really pretty country, but I kept looking, and I'm like, you know, this is going to take us to the same direction, but I mean, it's really, really pretty, and we're getting, you know, good scenery. So I just kept driving, and the more I drove, I kept not noticing anything familiar whatsoever. And so, anyways, during this process, the Lord was speaking to my spirit, like He was talking to me as I was driving. And so I kind of get to Gatlinburg, and I'm like, I'm thinking this is maybe the strip of Pigeon Forge, and I wasn't for sure because it said Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, and I just kept on driving. The surroundings were totally different than what I'm normally going in. I've never been that way, and I'm like, okay. So I changed the GPS to a different direction, and it was still leading me that direction. So I'm like, well, we're going, you know, right. So I just kept driving. Finally, to make a story short, we finally got there. It wasn't the destination that I had planned. It wasn't the destination that I was familiar of. And however, during that time, that destination was for us. That's where, you know, for whatever reason, I told Katie, I said we could have gotten a wreck, or, you know, any of that could have happened. So, you know, this route was best for us. And so during that time, the Lord was speaking to my spirit, and it was like, you know, that's like how in life, you know, our destination in life is not how it's not how we want it to be at times. Sometimes things change. Sometimes, you know, life changes. Sometimes, you know, people get sick, and you have to deal with that. You know, there's divorces, there's, you know, deaths, there's new beginnings. There's, you know, the old beginnings. But the direction that God wants us to go is His direction. And sometimes that direction is unfamiliarity. And so during that whole time, the Lord was speaking to my spirit, you know, like that is part of our destination and part of us in our progress and growing in life. And I started looking at the scenery. I'm like, you know, this is different, but it's very pretty out through here. And I was thinking of how, you know, all of the nature that God had created for us and the beauty in the mountains and stuff. And I'm like, you know, kind of enjoying this route. The adventure in it and then the unknown, but like I was kind of getting nervous because I'm like, Lord, I'm hoping I'm going the right way. Sometimes our trust, well, all the time our trust needs to be set on God, and to know that the path that we're going is the path that He wants us to go. And no matter if we don't feel like it's going anywhere, we always need to know that God is the compass and He's the one that's going to lead us in the right direction. And so during that time, He was speaking that to my spirit, and I'm like, you know, this is a lesson for me. And so we finally got there, and then we're loading up to leave. After we had got there, we left around, I guess it was 9:30, 10 o'clock. It takes like two and a half hours to get back home, I guess. So I put in the GPS, and I'll be darned, it sent me a totally different back way to go home. So I'm thinking that the GPS sent me back another way that wasn't the way that we had came. And I'm like, Katie, I said, I hope this GPS is going the right way. I said, we're going to trust it. And I put in 2 different addresses just to be on the safe side. And sure enough, it led us the same way. And so all of the kids were asleep. On and off, Katie and Justice was awake. And then I had, like, all of us had the windows down. And it was just really fresh air coming in. And it had been raining, then it stopped. So all of the fresh air of the mountain air was coming in. And I got to driving. For some reason, it took us off the interstate again, which almost to home. We got back on the interstate, but it took us down these back ways of going home. Out in the country, you know, turns and curves and stuff. And I was like, Katie, like she was beside me over here. I said, Katie, we're doing this again. And I said, it must be something that the Lord's trying to show me. You know, and 2, I had in mind, maybe God had us down this direction to keep us safe. You never know why things happen the way they do, you know, in life. And so I was driving, and after that, the kids had fell asleep, and I had the radio on, and the cool air was driving in. And I said, unknown destination yet again. I said, so much like life. And during the drive, I was looking, and, you know, God was totally ministering to my spirit that day, and that clinged on to my spirit for a while. Because, you know, in life, none of us really know our destination. We know that, well, I mean, we know that we're here for a short while, you know, heaven's our home, so we know that that's our destination. But I'm talking about life in general, and places that we go, and people that we meet, and the trials and the tribulations that we go through. It's unknown, it's uncertainty. Death is unknown and uncertainty, unless that, you know, you were told by a doctor you have so much time to live, but still life is in God's hands. So the road in life that we're on, it's okay for it to be out of your norm, I guess you would say. I'm trying to explain this the best as possible. It's okay to be out of your norm, because sometimes out of your norm is where God shows you the beauty in the uncertainty and the unknown places that you've never been. Like during the drive, I'm like, well, this is unknown. I'm not really for sure if it's going to get us home, but it sure is a pretty place. And I don't know. I hope that made sense to you all, and it really ministered to my spirit and my soul. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for, you know, some of the roads that my life has been on, you know, different kinds of times in my life through the deaths of my parents, my grandparents, and my uncles, and my aunts, people that were really dear, close to my heart. You know, during that part of the journey, it was so uncertainty and, you know, unknown, and you didn't think you'd get through it, but God was there, and He had His hands upon, you know, me and my life. And just like now, the road that I'm on, it feels kind of good now, like everything's steadying out, but still, you're still looking at the beauty in the process. And in that process, you're up in curvy roads and, you know, trying to find that norm. So that was just a really, the Lord shows me things through stuff like that in my life. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful how He reveals stuff to me. And I'm thankful for His peace and the strength that He gives me on a regular basis. So I try to focus and look on things like how I was driving down and I was going to the same destination, but it was a different view and a different type of beauty. And I don't know, I really enjoyed that. I didn't enjoy the fact that I didn't know that I was going, but I had hope and I had faith. That's the key. You got to keep the faith in everything that you do and know that everything works together for the good for those that love the Lord. So, you know, we've got to have faith. We've got to stay focused. And the unknown, we need to realize that God is already there and He already sees the journey ahead of us, and we'll be okay. We're always okay. But anyways, I wanted to share that with you. A little something different to look at. Hope y'all are having a good day. Can't believe that I had this water here to drink, and the whole time I hadn't even drank it. Isn't this pretty? It's got little sparkles in it. Got it from the Dollar Tree. Drinking some great water. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.